And a lot of us have been implanted without our knowledge, without our permission, with some of these chips. And I was just wondering if this oxysilver might be a disruptor for the chip. Do you think that's possible?
Well, let me ask you something. First of all, do you think prayer could be a disruptor for the chip?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do too. And now, if you understand that there's tremendous power in prayer, and the key that opens up the prayer power is faith. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where in your body, let's say, where would you say that faith is mostly located?
In your heart.
Exactly. So what else is in your heart? Is that the seat of love?
Yes.
Right. So is there a relationship between faith, prayer, and love?
Yes, and you have to pray with all your heart.
Right. Now, let's say what I'm saying is right, and I can prove to you that I'm right. I can send you to some websites, and you can look at the mathematical determinations by some of the world's leading experts in mathematics and physics. And when I say to you that 528 hertz frequency is the center of the electromagnetic color spectrum, it's the heart of the rainbow. It is this greenish-yellow color in the rainbow. It's the reason the botanical world is mostly greenish-yellow. It's why grass turns that color, why chlorophyll is the most powerful energy receiver from the sun. The sun is hydrogen. It's 99% hydrogen. What's it doing? It's radiating electrons. The energy from the sun is what I'm talking about, hydrogen, H2O. It comes out of water. Everything in the universe is popping out of water because of hydrosonics. And ultimately, the heart of love is on a clear channel broadcast, just like your radio station. There's a certain frequency that you have to tune to get the most signal. When you're talking about the love of God, the faith and the heartfelt loving intention is best received and transmitted when you're operating in 528 hertz. That's why we put 528 hertz frequency resonance into oxysilver. It then becomes a constitutional remedy, just like in homeopathy, where one dose of a good constitutional remedy by the best homeopath will cure anything that the person has. That's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with why we developed oxysilver to be the way it is, vibrating at 528. In essence, when you take oxysilver, here's what I do. We're taking it now, a teaspoon a day right now. Use a plastic teaspoon, not metal, because the metal will change the frequency. But if you use plastic, you won't change the frequency. And what we do is now we're taking, during this season of flu, a teaspoon a day. My children are taking that, and actually I've got my children taking that I've got one school daughter who's going to school. I'll soon have a son that's going to public school, and I'm telling them to take 3 times a day, 3 teaspoons. But I typically don't take it every day because it's so strong and it's so reliable that I typically take it. You know that first sign of a cold or flu when you first get a sense that you're coming down with something? If at that moment you take 3 capfuls, like spoon or teaspoonfuls, 3 CAPfuls, and you do that with heartfelt loving intention and prayer, close your eyes, say your prayer that you want to remain healthy and safe, and that you stay well so that you can serve the Creator and humanity, and that you then swallow with your eyes closed those 3 capfuls. What you'll probably see if you're sensitive, spiritually sensitive, you'll either see light enter your body, and or you'll feel an energy that radiates through the water. So the blessing of health and sustenance and love, the intention to create and sustain your health, that moves through every cell instantaneously because your whole body is a liquid crystal superconductor. Every single cell has DNA. You know what DNA really is? It's not what the Rockefellers say. What the Rockefellers tell us is a template, they say, for protein synthesis. You know, the genetic sequence is simply putting together new proteins for new cell parts. That's only 3% of the function. 93% of the function, the vast majority of the service of DNA is it's an antenna to God. It literally receives and transmits light and sound signals. So in essence, what happens then is you're putting your heartfelt, loving intention and prayer with faith into sustainability through this baptism. You're actually, when you take oxysilver in this way, you're virtually baptizing your whole body in the Holy Spirit of love. That's why it's so powerful. I'm telling you, I get letters all the time. I just got a wonderful letter from a nurse who started to take oxysilver just preventatively for, the flu season. And she writes me that suddenly she goes back and she had chronic kidney dysfunction and creatinine levels up to close to 2. And suddenly now they're down to 1, inexplicably. The only difference in her whole life, she started to take oxysilver. So she wrote me a letter. She said, is there some explanation that you have for this, Dr. Horowitz? Because my physician and I are stumped. And I wrote her back saying, quite frankly, I don't have an explanation for you exactly, but I can theoretically, I can tell you what's happening because, and I explained the bioenergetics, the cellular electrogenetic systems and the light and sound signaling that goes on in the body, that when you get placed in the love of God, there's nothing missing, nothing broken in the kingdom of heaven, said Jesus. And he said the kingdom of heaven is near. He didn't mean temporally far off in time. He didn't mean when 2012 comes we're going to be in heaven. It is right here. It is right now. It is the metaphysical realm in which miracles occur and angels fare. So this is where we are now treading. This is why when you ask me, are you afraid they're going to kill you? I don't even go there. My life is so exciting. I'm so blessed. My life is full of synchronicity as yours, I'm sure many of you listening tonight. Miracle after miracle, divine appointment after divine appointment is happening for you because we're engaged in a spiritual renaissance in the darkest time, which is also the potentially brightest time. Out of the darkness shall come the light. Anyway, I hope that gives you some background.
That definitely gives us some background. I have one more person who would like to ask you a question.
Okay, one more question, then I got to go.
Okay, terrific. 777, you have a question for Dr. Horowitz? 777, do you have a question for Dr. Horowitz?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I was wondering, for individuals who are being targeted with radio frequency transmissions, that as well as directed energy weapons, what would you recommend to try to block those unwanted radio frequencies?
Same thing we're talking about. 528 hertz. Get Jonathan Goldman's CD called Holy Harmony. Holy Harmony CD is like $19 and I think it's 20 cents or $19.40, something like that, on healthyworldstore.com. There's also Bruce Tanio's equipment. He's a genius, and he has developed what's called the Rhythms Concerto unit. I think that's still on the Healthy World store, and that's an expensive unit. The Goldman CD is very inexpensive. You want to play that at night with prayer, like when you're going to bed. And for those people who need miracle healings, the best way to do it is with hands-on healing and prayer, but also when you put them to bed with prayer and this music. It's called Holy Harmony. It's the most powerful healing CD on the planet. It's based on the musical mathematics that the Creator's blessed us with, which is really, it's the real Da Vinci Code, not the crap that was sold to us in Dan Brown's book in the Hollywood film. The real Da Vinci Code is intimately connected with what we're talking about now. The buried, secreted knowledge of how the Creator creates. And if you want to recreate health and sustenance, that is essentially the technology you can use to do it